welcome to day 2 of the Toyota Cape Dealer Rally, which saw Johnny Gemmell leading a Toyota 1-2 ahead of Castrol teammate Leroy Poulter overnight. Local hero JP Damso also pushed hard to get into 3rd position, but Charles Wilkin pipped him for that place after winning the final 2 tarmac stages. Konrad Reuterbach also got past him and into 4th position with a solid performance on the tar, but Johnny Gemmell held a lead of 6.1 seconds overnight. Day 2 of the Toyota Cape Dealer Rally dawned bright and sunny with the Castrol Toyota team firmly in control.
Yesterday we had a good day, and Leroy as well, so the plan is to do the same again today and hopefully bring it home a 1-2 for the team.
Yeah, it was good last night, and but today is the main day, and it's going to be tough, and we'll try and keep up the pace.
8 Cake is going to be the first stage on day number 2. 26.93 kilometers, flat out and plenty of jumps.
We are just east of the N7 between Malmesbury and Mauriceburg, and you're right, this is going to be a big challenge. The first time that they see this stage, there will certainly be no place for chickens on this one.
17, keep left, max jump and max crest. C300, gear slow left plus.
Just the first example of how big those jumps are, and there's damage already to our rally leader. This is going to be a turning point.
Johnny Gemmell and Drew Stark pushing very hard. Remember that they only have 6.1 seconds over their teammates. And coming into the end of the stage, there is damage.
Yeah, I landed over a jump right on the nose, but everything seems fine. I'll just check it out now.
Hopefully they don't have a price to pay for this afterwards. Leroy Poulter and Alvin Coetzee in the second of the Castrol Toyota Auris cars, 6.1 seconds behind their teammates overnight.
Obviously not pushed as hard as his teammate did because there's no damage on the front of that, which means he was rolling a little bit slower through the big jumps.
We literally take a flyer along with them in almost losing control there. It can go wrong so easily, so quickly.
So Leroy, everything seems to be in order?
Yeah, it seems to be okay. Bit of a rough stage. Yes, the jumps are really bad, eh?
Left 8, no cut. Open, left 8, no cut. Open, C100. Small max right, and you'll see the narrow left 8, no cut gear.
Well, after amazing end to day number 1 for Vulcan and a turnaround of fortunes that saw him running in 3rd place, no way he was going to throw that away, and it looks like he's finally found his confidence again.
Not taking any chances, though, finishing 8th overall on that stage. Reuterbach and Klinger now in the green fuel Ford Fiesta, and they were 23.5 seconds off the pace coming into the stage.
70 up. 70 up, very late, 3 right plus through gate. Into max left. 200 down over bumps. Narrow 6 left plus. Narrow 6 left.
And setting the fastest time in that stage.
Yeah, it was a nice stage. Actually, it's got a bit of corners in that one, so it felt quite good. So I'm looking forward to going back the other way.
And fastest time so far, that could move you right up the order.
Yeah, I think the guys didn't realize the road position yesterday was quite a handicap, but yeah, we got quite a good road position today, so we're trying to take advantage and see what we can do.
JP Damso and Carolyn Swan having a stellar drive on day number 1, just easing their way in. They would only go 11th fastest on this stage.
Not a good one, looks like it. I think we weren't on it, so we lost a bit of time there.
Ergen Fecken and Pierre Arre is coming into the stage, part of a 4-car battle for 4th position. Only fractions of seconds between them, of 25.4 seconds off the pace coming into the stage and go 4th fastest.
I'm very surprised at Conrad's time. It seems to be a little bit too quick. But yeah, we had a really good stage, so don't know.
The ever-doubtful Fecken. We know that he can turn it up every now and again, and the man that has to turn it up on day number 2 is Cronje. The road position is really going to work in his favor. Everyone else is going to be clearing the rocks with a little bit of luck for him, and he should be able to drop the hammer.
Left 5 in, into left 3 over bump, and caution, left 6 up top here. Caution, left 6, no cut, narrow. 70. 20 coast to go. Right 3 tightens to 5 over crest, and caution, right. Max right 3 in, 300. Turn left 9, double caution. I'm going to stop, Rob. Yeah, stop. Okay, find their place, yeah. Okay, yeah, go. Go, stop. Stop on the left.
And that would be a turning point for the rally, and especially for Cronje, our championship points leader, having to stop and do repairs.
Jan Habig and Robert Paisley coming into the stage in 8th position overall, also part of that 4-car group battling it out for 4th position, only seconds between them.
Cronje on the side there, so that's 2 minutes down the road already.
And they have rejoined, but lots of damage on the side of that car, and they would lose 3 minutes and 23 seconds in the process.
We got a puncture, I don't know where, and we tried to drive it, and then the tyre came off the rim and sort of all jammed into the car, so we had to stop and change it. That's a game over.
Right 1 through the gate, 50, right 3, oh no. 100 brake, left 3, right to 4. Okay, 40, the left 2 over the crest.
Some uncharacteristic mistakes from Keen, but obviously just all proving the point that he is now pushing the pace on day number 2.
Pushing very hard indeed, and he would go 3rd fastest in this stage.
It was a good first opening stage of the day, so we put in a big push, so nice stage. Like these stages, they're quite fast, living in 6th gear.
Love that expression, don't you? Living in 6th gear.
Yeah, I use pinned, he just uses living in 6. Williams, though, still battling with those gear ratio problems, and the flat-out nature of this rally was just going to see him slide backwards. 10th was the fastest he could go.
De Villiers and Pitchford coming into this stage in 11th position overall, and I think they also enjoy these conditions. He is flying. They would go 5th fastest, 22.9 seconds off the pace. Ladegan and Van der Merwe now.
Just fantastic to see the Pertec Peugeot out there and really flying. That new handling package has changed their lives completely, and he would go on to take a 6th place on this stage.
Nicholas Ryan and Armand de Toey, 13th, but chasing down a top 10 position. They've been very consistent in the top 5 in the championship at the moment. Musa and Martin in 14th coming into the stage.
Oh, battling to get himself into the top 10. Not an ideal setup on that car on this rally.
Dippenaar and Jacobs still fighting it out with Klaasen and Harding for the 15th position overall. In fact, Klaasen was struggling with the handling of the car on the stage.
Stage 5 then saw a first stage victory on the rally for Rautenbach, pulling 12.6 seconds out of rally leader Gemmel. The story, though, was Poulter dropping down and only taking 7th on this one.
Stage 6, south of Marisburg, is Wolfgat in the beautiful Swartland wheat fields, 19.39 kilometers of dirt. And somehow I do have the feeling that this rally is starting to develop in a certain direction. This is Klaasen and Harding again, and in fact his problem in the previous stage was a drive shaft problem.
Yeah, the back end of that thing just loose and all over the place. Fekin, a terrible stage here, broken radiator, and he would end up having to back off the pace and lose a full 40 seconds.
Then see 700. 700 right to 1.
Engine is bottom.
Then see 400.
And just compounding that, getting a 30-second penalty for clocking in late as well. Terrible stage for Fekin.
Nicholas Ryan and Armand de Toey in the Grand Mark Volkswagen Polo moving up to 12th position into the stage. They would only be 14th fastest. Back to Volro Dippenaar and Derek Jacobs. And they would go 13th fastest in the stage.
So hard to break into the top 10 on this rally. Damso has got to start turning up the wick on this one.
John Williams and Kobus Frey still inside the top 10. Very consistent at this point, but I'm sure they'd like to move up.
And running 10th fastest on this stage, Musa has actually found his pace finally.
Wilken and Godridge coming into the stage in 5th position overall, losing some time in the previous stage.
Still controlling the rally quite nicely.
200 dBs. Yeah. Fast left there, up there. This is this 200 dBs thing. Turn slow right through gate. Turn slow right through gate. 600.
A small moment of awkward instruction there for Gemmel. He would still run some fast times, but only 8th fastest on this stage.
Lategan and Van der Merwe at the moment in 11th position overall. And I think the previous shot was a good demonstration as well, Matt. If you run wide, you're going to go through the wheat fields and you're going to clog up your radiators. That's what happened on a number of occasions.
So dangerous. All I keep hearing from all the co-drivers is Varam. All the engines are getting super hot.
De Villiers and Pitchford coming to the stage in 9th position overall, and they would go 6th fastest by 9 seconds.
Nice to see no problem so far. Touch wood for the VW team. Hubbock also picking up the pace there. He would get up and go on to get a 5th place on this stage.
Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson, as always, foot in the hook, flat out as hard as possible. And I just love listening to the instructions by Guy Hodgson.
Left, right, turn left through the very narrow building. Very, very narrow. Left 9. Right 4 is left 6. Right 4, left 6. 50, right 7 is left 5. 4th, right 8 down.
They would set the 4th fastest time on this stage. Cronje and Houghton now.
On the comeback trail. Remember, they had all those problems, losing so much time on the previous stage. They are running without a spare, though, because, you know, they had to do the running repairs, so that's a little bit dangerous. They would go on to take 3rd fastest. An almost standard option, Poulter overshoot on day number 2. It's always this stage where he really tries to drop the hammer and almost throw caution to the wind. Even with that mistake, he went on to post the 2nd fastest time on that stage. Without that mistake, surely it would have been a win.
That's a good deduction, I reckon. Konrad Rothenbach. He won the previous stage. How is he going to tackle this one? The answer is absolutely flat out. And he would indeed set the fastest time by that margin of 4.4 seconds.
Rautenbach then taking a bit of a stranglehold, going back-to-back on stage wins, winning out ahead of Poulter. De Villiers steps up to 6th place on that stage, and Gemmel drops down to 8th on that one.
And all of this means that Gemmel and Rautenbach are now level pegging.
You're tied for the lead with Conrad at the moment.
Yeah, we didn't expect that, but it was a bit slippy on that 1st and 2nd one. But in the 1st one, we were doing about 180 and landed on the nose, and it wasn't too good. But the car wasn't doing too bad after that.
I believe we tied to the split second, so it's great. You know, it's really close in that. So there's still the long stage to go and the repeat of the other one. But I like that stage and then the tar. So it's going to be a very interesting afternoon, I think.
Stage 7 is going to be a rerun of stage number 2, Niverdam, the massive monster of a stage, 38 kilometers. We know how hard this was on cars last time around.
And this can potentially have a big effect on the outcome of this rally. And it's great to see the spectators turning out in their numbers. This is really rally country. Gemmel and Storak, joint leaders at the moment, and the pressure must be on.
Yeah, this rally is all about pressure now. It's really turning into a cauldron. You know, these guys are pushing everything they can now. It's literally going to go down to who can take the stage victories in the last 2 stages.
Poulter and Coetzee now currently in 3rd position overall, 16.2 seconds off the pace. They would certainly like to do something about that forward in between them.
I love Poulter's pace on day number 2. It's all out aggression. But Vulcan, he has got the bit between his teeth. I'm just so happy to see him have some good turn of fortune. And he was dropping the hammer. He would actually go fastest on this stage.
On board with joint leaders, Rothenbach and Klinger. Oh, that is Johnny Gemmel standing on the outside of that corner.
Coming into this stage, he was joint rally leader. He is now parked on the side, and we've only got 2 stages to go. That's a heartbreaker, but so many times in rally, that's how it goes.
Indeed, and Poulter also had a problem losing a minute there, so not good for Toyota. And Konrad Rothenbach now takes over the lead of this rally.
The Fords have turned things around on day number 2. So now, the leading Toyota would actually be Damso.
Absolutely right. The team total, Toyota Auris, going faultlessly at this point, and I'm not sure that they realize that at this time, but they will be the leading Toyota at the end of this stage.
A loss of 3 minutes 31 on stage number 5. That is what is haunting Cronje at the moment. But he's shaking it off, dusting it off, and dusting the competition as well. He would end up 2nd fastest on this stage.
By a margin of only 0.9 of a second, so clearly that car is flying. Fecken and Aris currently in 11th position, carrying a 30-second penalty after that problem earlier on. They clocked in late.
150 slippy, left right, keep in. Repeat, slippy, left right, keep in. C750. Oh, sake. I don't believe it.
The laugh of disbelief Fekkin has absolutely no luck, and it would end up being a puncher. They would have to pull off onto the side and lose well over 4 minutes on this stage.
Turns out to be 5.5 minutes, in fact, at the end. Desperately trying not to run into any problems as their teammates have. Habig and Paisley at the moment running smoothly and fast, keeping up the pace, hoping to make up some positions.
And we've seen so many cars fail at this stage, unfortunately, so everyone has got their fingers crossed.
Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson in the BP Volkswagen Polo pushing very, very hard. They know on a stage like this, you always have an opportunity of taking advantage of other people's problems.
It's a completely different Keane as well, because at the previous rally, he was just nursing it, bringing it home, said, I haven't got a chance of a stage win, so I'm just going to do whatever I can. But on this stage, he can drop the hammer, and there he goes, steaming past his teammate.
That's past the very slow-moving Fekkin's car as we go to John Williams and Cobus Frey still on the verges of the top 10 coming into this stage.
And giving it everything she had. Now, he's just the whole rally long has battled with those gear ratios, and he said on that stage, the very limit, and he got a 6th place as his reward.
Hein Lategan and Johanna van der Merwe currently in 9th position overall as we go on board. And look at that, that looks like a wheel. That's a whole wheel assembly line there. Somebody must have hit that gate post.
Whoever went through there before got it seriously wrong, and Lategan is just making up time and making up places every single turn. There's a car on the left-hand side, and it's lost a left-hand wheel. That was Janelle de Villiers.
Absolutely. Disaster for Janelle de Villiers. That's the end of his rally as well.
Surprised he actually got that far down the road with only the 3 wheels.
Indeed. What is stage 7 still going to throw up for us? Nicholas Ryan and Armand Tetoe in 13th position overall.
It's just been surprises. Stage 7 has literally blown this rally wide open.
Pushing very hard, Mohamed Musa and Grant Martin overshoot there, and this is going to cost them time into the wheat fields.
You can see how easy it is to do as well. I mean, you're coming flat-tapped into a 90-degree corner. It's very, very tricky conditions.
Hopefully they won't have overheating problems because of this. Laura Dippenaar and Derek Jacobs also moving well and currently in 15th position ahead of Klaassen and Harding in 16th.
Klaassen's just going to be happy to get this rally done, but the stage times after stage 7 look like this. Wilken takes a victory ahead of Cronje and Rautenbach, so it's all Fords at the top of the pile on that one.
And big changes at the top of the standings as Konrad Rautenbach goes into the lead.
It's a pity for Johnny. It was a good fight, but I don't know what happened. I heard engine or something. It's a shame, but yeah. So it's good now, but it's still 2 stages to go, and Charles is very quick on the tar. So we have to have a clean run and hopefully keep it together.
Charles, it looks to have been another dramatic stage.
Yeah, it turned out okay for us, but Johnny was standing next to the road, so I don't know what happened to him. But we had a good stage. I really tried to push. But our power steering problems came back towards the last quarter of the stage, so I hope they can fix it. Otherwise, it's going to be a very difficult next stage for me.
Not often you pass both your teammates and your main competitor in the stage, so it was a very interesting stage, and we just kept passing people and avoiding them, and kept getting dust, and then we say, oh, who's this now keeping us up? But everyone pulled off nicely. We had a good stage, and it's really boosted our overall position.
Unfortunately, but 15 k's from the end of the last stage, the prop shaft bolts broke, and it's done quite a lot of damage. We lost quite a lot of time. So yeah, it's a little bit difficult at the office today.
Unfortunately, I just got it out of line coming into a place where we had to go through a gate, and I hit the gate post with the left rear, and it took the left rear wheel off. So 100% my fault. It's just such a pity because we were going quite well up until then, and the car was running well, so would have been nice to do the last couple of stages. But anyway, these things can happen, and we have to accept it.
After 7 stages, Konrad Rautenbach and Nicholas Klinger lead by 34 seconds from Charles Wilken and Greg Godrich. Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson, the top Volkswagen, in 3rd.
After that terrifying stage, Lategan actually moves himself up into 6th place, and Marc Cronje on the comeback trail into the top 10.
The final dirt stage of the Toyota Cape Dealer Rally, stage 8, which is a repeat of stage 5, but just in the opposite direction. Langewens at 26.97 kilometers dirt all the way, and this is going to be a big challenge in these conditions.
Klaassen having some handling problems the whole way through the rally, but still going to bring the big Subaru home. This time they changed the drive shaft just before this stage to try and tighten up that back end.
Dippenaar and Jacobs in 12th position at this point. Nicholas Ryan and Armand de Toey in 9th. They've broken the top 10. And this is exactly the kind of performance we've seen before in the season from them.
That's how he runs in the top 5 for the championship for the drivers. Williams battling on this rally.
Stay right over bump. 70 right for him.
Did worry that he had a puncher late on in the stage, so just backed it off and brought it home.
Musa and Martin now moving inside the top 10. In fact, they're 8th coming into this stage, and they would set the 10th fastest time in stage 8.
Poulter, he's had an up and down rally so far, was running in 2nd place the whole of day number 1. Day number 2 has seen him drop further and further back, and he would eventually go on and suffer another puncher, dropping him even further down the listings.
Fecken and Aris well out of contention in 14th position, 7 minutes off the pace, but pushing very hard.
Fecken is one of those drivers that is willing to take the risk. As long as his car will hold together, he will try and just steal a stage victory late on if he can.
And turn off left 8 over grid, very narrow, very narrow. Turn off left 8. Oh.
And a big loss of time here. That's something like 15 seconds to get this recovery mode back into it.
Crest left 5. Into right 4 down.
Always interesting to listen to the interaction between driver and co-driver. Charles Wilkin and Greg Godridge currently in 2nd position overall, just over 30 seconds behind rally leaders Rothenbach and Klinger.
So all he's got to do is do a little bit of protective work. 2nd place is a solid result. He would go on to take 7th fastest.
Habeck and Paisley in 11th position overall at this point. They know they've got just one more tarmac stage to go, so they're pushing very hard here, hoping to break into the top 10.
He's such a big kid. He said to me afterwards, he's just enjoying the jumps. Have a smile on his face the whole way through. 6th place, he'll be happy with that.
Damso and Swan currently in 4th position. That's a solid performance in the team total, Ulrich. And in front of their home crowd, I'm sure they are enjoying themselves immensely.
Konrad Rautenbach and Nicholas Klinger are in the sweet spot at the moment. They are protecting a lead and they are just enjoying the rally. Finally got the setup they want on the car, and they would eventually go on to take 4th fastest on this penultimate stage.
On board we go with Lategan and Van der Merwe in the only remaining Pertec Peugeot. Solid performance by them. This is one of the better performances of the season. They are in 6th position overall at this point. If they hold on to that, they will be very happy indeed.
Attack is what they are all about on this stage. They've been building in confidence the whole way through the rally, and they would go on to be rewarded with a 3rd place on this stage. That is fantastic for Peugeot and all their fans.
Caution right 8, very narrow. Double caution right 8, yeah, very narrow. 70, caution right 5 over bump tip. Caution right 5 over bump tip. 120. Long back space middle into left 3. Long back space middle into left 3 and left 5 Sandy. 90. Caution right 8, very narrow in. Caution right 8, very narrow in.
Grenier and Houghton coming into the stage in 10th position overall. Their only strategy at this point, Matt, can be to try and make up some more positions. So they are definitely pushing very hard.
Yeah, it's just everything she's got, and you know they literally have nothing to lose. They've lost the rally. They just need to get up there and try and save some championship points, and that is what this stage and this finish will be all about. They would go on to take the 2nd fastest time on that stage.
Enzo Kuhn, Hodgson coming into this stage in 3rd place, but their sights firmly set on that 2nd position held by Wilkin.
Maximum attack is what it's all about as well, because he is close enough that he can actually make up the deficit. He would go fastest on this stage to take his first stage win.
Kuhn takes it by 3.9 seconds over Grenier, but crucially he was 18.5 faster than Wilkin, so he moves into 2nd position.
Final stage is the Killarney finale, 14.94 kilometers to end things out on tarmac.
Each car will do 7 laps of the Killarney racetrack in the opposite direction, exactly the same way as earlier. So as far as the rally standings are concerned, Rautenbach leads Kuhn by 23 seconds, Can Wilkin make up that time? Another nice little battle going on at the moment, the battle for 5th position. Leroy Poulter there in the number 13 Castrol Toyota Auris, just 8 seconds or so behind Hein Lategem.
Yeah, he's done himself good here as well, because he would go on to take the second fastest time there. But we know the king of this stage, at least the whole way through this rally, has been Wilkin. And once again, he just showed true dominance to end out the rally nicely.
Rothenbach and Klinger going into the stage as our rally leaders. As I said, 23 seconds they have. And all they need to do really is just to keep it nice and steady, no mistakes, and just bring it home.
Now, they showed good pace before. They know exactly what they need to do. No big risks, but the risks are all being thrown down by Wilkin. Going elbow to elbow with Poulter. So much experience in those two hands.
Multiple national circuit racing champions between the championships between the two of them, and this is exactly what they're going to show the crowd. They are going to race each other as hard as possible.
Damso is running good in the overalls. Cronier is still trying to find time. And what you find with this guy, he just does not give it up. He's a dog with a bone. And if there's any seconds to be found, he will go for it.
Well, every place they make up obviously pays more points in the championship. He's already moved up one position, as Cronier, as we watch a three-way Volkswagen battle unfold.
Once again, clipping the tires. Lategem. Now, this has been just a turnaround for the Peugeot guys. Since they got their new handling package, they have found something very special.
And the on-track battle continues between Dipnar and Klaasen. Beautiful overtaking there. I think probably the maneuver of the day.
Confirmation then of the final stage results. It was Wilkin that ended with a flourish to win out ahead of Poulter, Cronier, Keen and Rautenbach.
In the two-wheel drive category, Christoph and Celeste Snyders take the victory in the S1600 class, 2 minutes 9.2 seconds ahead of Craig Trott and Robbie Coetzee, with Chad Corradi and Kez Naidu in third. Class S1400 is won by Dolph Coetzee and Henry Adams in their Toyota Taz, the only remaining car in that class. Podium celebrations for the Toyota Cape Dealer Rally. And I think a lot of satisfied faces there. Father Billy Rothenbach giving his son Conrad a big undeserved hug. The champagne is on. Different looking podium to many of the events we've seen so far this season.
Except for Keen. He's just always there.
So Rothenbach and Klinger take it by 23 seconds from Kuhn and Hodgson. Wilkin and Godridge in a solid third position. Heinrich Lategem, Johan van der Merwe in fifth.
Leroy Poulter took 6th place, but the big story on this rally with Mark Cronier and Robert Houghton clawing their way back into 9th place.
It's great, you know, it's a special achievement for us. You know, we're using ethanol now, a green fuel. They finally allowed it, so I think it's the first time in South African motorsport that a biofuel, you know, environmentally friendly fuel won an event. So it's really fantastic for us. We're really chuffed.
And great to see you back on the podium again.
Yeah, very happy. It was a good weekend, big push. Conrad was very fast, very good this morning in the two first stage. We can come back on the win and close to the victory, and continue all of the day, and then finish very happy.
We pushed very hard towards the end, and I must say it almost feels like we should have won, because the rally overall we hadn't pushed that hard for a long time, and we hadn't been able to win stages this year like we used to last year, and we really had to dig deep. Went to 110% on that one stage to catch Wilkin and stay ahead of him. We knew that we would lose some time on the tarmac in the last stage, which we did. Luckily we had enough in hand, so it's very rewarding to get a second.
Very quick penultimate stage there, Guy.
Absolutely, just full maximum effort. I take my hat off to Enzo. I don't know, huge courage. Very good job, well done.
It was a good rally for a change. We had some bad events the last two, so it's great to be on the podium again.
Great stuff. And Greg, how was it for you? Very fast rally, quick on the notes?
Very quick on the notes. Actually woke me up a bit this morning. Charles drove very well. I think we might have got our confidence back now. Had two bad ones after a big crash in PE. But I think the team's back on track. We're motivated, and we had a lot of fun this weekend. Bloody fast.
Rothenbach's third victory of the season moves him back on top of the driver's standings, only 9 points behind both Mark Renier and Enzo Kuhn.
In the co-drivers championship, there's a flip out at the top. Guy Hodgson takes over the points lead with Robin Houghton dropping down to 2nd place. An extremely happy Conrad Rautenbach gets himself back onto the top of the pile.
Toyota still leads the manufacturer's standings by a healthy margin over Volkswagen. Ford currently in 3rd position. Join us on the 10th of October for more highlights from the Toyota Cape Dealer Rally. Toyota Cape Dealer Rally was proudly brought to you by Toyota.